Hi. What's up? How's it going? How we doing? Hey. Oh, thank you for the 30 months. Wow. 30. That's a lot of months. That's basically two and a, that's wow, it's not quite. No, that's like 2.5 years, isn't it? Yeah, that's 2.5 years. Nice. That's awesome. Thank you so much. I appreciate it a lot. Thank you for all the support. I am doing good. I had a pretty long day without getting too much into it, but overall, I'm doing good. I had to make some freaking decisions about my life today. Nothing bad, really. Nothing bad, really. It's like fine. Like it's something that needed to happen anyway, but you know, it's a lot. Like I woke up at like 9:30 in the morning, right? And you know the day's never gonna nothing good is gonna happen when you wake up at 9:30 a.m. Yeah. Anyway, I won't get too into it. It's not it's I am good. I am in a good position. I am safe and good. And my controller is disconnected. So that's about the biggest problem in my life right now. Yeah, exactly. No esteem. No, what is the saying? No esteemed deeds are marked at 9:30 in the morning on a Friday. I don't think that's the saying, right? Yeah, I don't know. Sun Tzu said that or something in The Art of War. No esteemed deeds are marked at 9:30 a.m. on a Friday, especially on a Friday. Yes. No weekday morning, but especially Friday morning. It's all good though. It's all good. Everything's good. I'm good. I will be good. And I'm taking a nice little vacation next week, which is awesome. I'm really excited about that. It really is a mini one. It's like a mini vacation. It's not gonna be too long. It's not gonna be 2 weeks or anything like that. So that's cool. There's that. We could do some Wordle. I'd like to do that. I'd like to word. Do you want a word? We'll get to the... If it wasn't Sun Tzu, it was Confucius or perhaps Socrates. I mean, why not all three, right? Why not? Sure. Works for me. Alrighty. Gonna make this smaller. Let's do this. They collabed for that one, exactly. Oh, I can't make this smaller without doing that with this. Okay, I guess that works too. Yeah, sure, that's fine. Over here. All right. Horse. Ooh. Slow. SOE. Horse is one of my go-tos. Soars. Okay, well I got the S right. So it's SXXXE. No, it can't be that. It has to have an O. Stole? Okay. Okay. Really good Wheel of Fortune rules start word I actually have no idea what the what the rules of Wheel of Fortune are, to be honest. Let me see. Can't be score. Could it be scone? Oh. Could it be s'more? No, it can't be s'more. No R. Start the puzzle by autofilling that is RSTLNE, so players don't have to pay for them. Ah, okay, that's smart. Small, smooth, smoke, smoke. There we go. Nice, awesome, good stuff. I will be right back in 1 second. Okay, hi. Should we mini crossword maybe? I kind of want to do that. Let's just keep going. We're on a roll here. Let's just keep going with it. We'll get to the laws. We'll get to the laws after. It'll be okay. Oh, we of course need desktop audio so that you can see it. You can hear it when I get the do 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 do. So you can get there the fastest. Race, comic actor, Sandler, Adam. Acronym for a pro housing movement. I don't know. Org that certifies physical. Beam of sunshine. French goodbye. Adieu. Place where bug juice is served and color wars are waged. I don't know. Plant deep within. Opposite of nay. Yay. Fencing sword is epee. Dark Souls taught me that one. Oh, is this USDA? What's this one? Embed? Color Wars of Wage? Camps? Oh, NIMBY. Is it YIMBY or NIMBY? Let's go. Love it. Amazing. Dark Souls, don't let anyone tell you that Dark Souls won't teach you anything. It definitely does. Okay, so we are gonna do Ace Attorney, but I thought I would give a little bit of a recap of what we missed since it's been so long. They got Bug Juice and Dark Souls. No, but they got epées. They have swords called epées. Epée. Epée. Anyway, so basically I have I can put it like this. Basically I found a Reddit comment that summarizes the whole thing pretty well. So rather than make up my own thing, I'm just going to use this Reddit comment of somebody asking for the same thing So thank you so much to Liz Our World 8, who loves our world, and Ace Attorney. Because this is basically the there's a lot of spoilers here. There's stuff that hasn't been revealed here yet. It's kind of in timeline order, so we're gonna find out about stuff. But basically, you see Dirk goes to the US to see Apollo to get help with finding the Founder's Orb, which is kind of like a rare, important treasure. Both of them go to Kurain Village with Trucy, where they meet Politician and find out Archie Buff, who was that one guy who was known to have it, and he's dead. A bunch of books fell on him, if I recall. Meanwhile, Dats is in the detention center because of losing his passport, which he left at the doctor's house. When they get his suitcase open, Trucy returns to give it to him, while Dirk and Apollo meet Army Buff through her drone Sarge. If you remember, she was locked up in the room and communicating through a flying drone that also shoots rockets. Pearl tells them... I don't know about that one. I don't remember that part. But Dirk and Apollo end up falling because of Paul shoving them and because of the unsteady ground. So that was when they were going through the cave. They end up in the ruins where the orb is and get it. Dirk looks for a way out while Apollo is trying not to drown since the cave is filling with water. They eventually escape. Paul demands they hand over the orb, which he's calling the Crystal of Amife. They also find out he is the one who pushed them. Phoenix shows up telling everyone he is Politician's lawyer and that he will see Apollo in court. That was when Phoenix showed up to Kurain Village very unexpectedly. It was like, I'm going to beat you in court. The kid gloves are off, as he said. And then there was basically this whole plot. It was a civil trial, basically. Oh yeah, Dirk discloses that he's terminally ill. Let me see. The civil trial. Yeah, there's the civil trial where we find out who Sarge is. The item is ruled in favor of being the Founder's Orb. The Holy Mother is also revealed. The case changes to a murder trial halfway through. Gron wants Dirk arrested the moment he comes in. Oh yeah, they come in. They go in and they storm the castle, basically. He gets arrested. Apollo takes on the case and then finds out that Nayuta has also been assigned to it to prosecute. And that was when Apollo confronts Nayuta. And is like, you've changed, man. Why are you like this? Yeah, we do some stuff with Rafa, expecting the chamber. Oh yeah, Inga is dead now, by the way. Inga gets shot. It looks like Dirk did it. Dirk is the one on trial for murder of Inga. And then, yeah, basically that's it. That's where we're at right now. We're actually going into the trial now. So that's about it. And thus the stage is set. I hope that was a pretty good explanation. I hope that was illuminating. Once again, thank you to Liz Our World 8 on Reddit. I don't know who made the thread originally because they've deleted their account, but that was the comment. Thank you very much. Appreciated. I couldn't find anything that was concise enough, but once again, Reddit comes in absolutely clutch. You know how it is. Okay. We don't have any audio here, but we will in just a moment. I did save, right? I'm just going to save in another slot. This is actually the quick resume from last time. Okay, we're good. All right, let's go. Let's continue on to the next chapter. It's May 19th, 8:50 a.m. Another time when no esteemed deeds are marked. Ooh, and we get treated to an animated cutscene. Things are actively breaking down in Kurain. Yep. Destabilizing. Unrest is happening. Accused lobby. Hi, Athena. It's complete chaos outside. Let's just say the Defiant Dragon supporters demonstrating for Dirk's freedom have taken a very special interest in the outcome of today's trial. They look about ready to string us up if we lose. Trials here are pretty much like the ones back home, but with one major difference. Wait, what? You're kind of burying the lead there, Phoenix. The Divination Seance. Oh yeah, and also the Defense Culpability Act. The victim's final memories will become a matter for deliberation. I've heard about that, but they haven't stopped you from winning your cases here in Khura'in. True, but it wasn't easy. Still, the memories of the dead are simply another piece of evidence. There's always a way to deal with them if your client is truly innocent. Well, I know Dirk is innocent, but... I have one more big secret. Apollo, in court tomorrow, you may find yourself faced with a truth that is difficult to accept. But I know you, and I know you can handle the truth, no matter what it turns out to be. I know that because I believe in you. You're my son, after all. Dirk, what is that secret you're keeping? Hey, AJ! Oh, hi! Hello, here's Mr. I lost my passport. So now I'm in jail. Here you go, just like I promised. Okay, we just have the Founder's Orb, the thing that was the central part of this case for most of its runtime. It's just in our inventory now, very good. In the court record, all good, it's fine, don't worry about it. Thanks, Stats. Wait, weren't you arrested by the police yesterday? Yep, and I spent the night in the slammer. I had a fine meal, a shower, even a bed. What more could I ask for? That actually sounds way better than where we're staying. Just remember, AJ, if Dirk's found guilty today, well, I'll probably be found guilty under the Defense Culpability Act, too. Yeah, Nayuta said something to that effect. That witch Garan wants to take advantage of today to crush our revolution once and for all. The fate of the revolution, and every Khura'inese person, rests on this trial. We're counting on you, AJ. Well, I'll be fine. I'm gonna win this one. You'll see. The trial will begin shortly, Apollo. Let's make our way into the courtroom. Right. Ooh-wee! Well, I'd say it's a pretty good intro. It kind of acts as like a standalone episode. It doesn't feel like we missed that much. I mean, we didn't miss anything. It's just been a while. Here we are. I always like this transition. I think it's good. Let the trial of Dirk Sad-Mahdi begin. The defense is ready, Your Honor. The prosecution is ready, Your Majesty. So it's really come down to this. Well, don't expect me to hold anything back, Nayuta. This trial will examine both the murder of Justice Minister Inga Karkul Khura'in and the assassination of the former queen, Amara Sigatar Khura'in. First, I believe we should address the murder of Minister Inga. Would that be acceptable, Prosecutor Sad-Mahdi? This freaking guy. Prosecutor Sad-Mahdi? Yes, of course. Please proceed. He was falling asleep. What's with him? How very unlike you, Prosecutor. Is your mind elsewhere this day? Not at all, Your Majesty. Are you really going to be able to go through this, Nayuta? Well, Prosecutor Sad-Mahdi, I would be remiss if I failed to voice a concern of mine. I have heard mention that you are a son to the accused, Dirk Sad-Mahdi. So is the other guy. But we don't have to talk about that, I guess. You have heard true. Does that fact pose some sort of a problem, Your Majesty? A father being prosecuted by his own son. Could one possibly deliberate such a case without having personal feelings intervene? Yes, without question. Can he really handle this? Even if it is Prosecutor Sad-Mahdi, going against his own father is just... How can the son of a criminal even be prosecutor in the first place? Hey, there he is. Okay. He appears nonetheless. Fellow citizens, you would do well not to underestimate my son. He's not one to allow personal feelings to interfere with the execution of his duty. Isn't that right, Nayuta? I will not stop until my work here is done. See? So all you doubters just sit back down before you trip over your own stupidity. Dude who is on trial for murder. The accused will not take the stand without first being summoned. In any case, if Prosecutor Sadmati has no issues with this arrangement, then let us commence the deliberations. Oh? Oh, hi. One moment, if you would. Your evidence. Your evidence. What brings you here? Wait, what? I'm here now. Oh, sorry, we are here now. Your Majesty, it would appear that Prosecutor Sadmati does indeed have some reservations. No, that's not true. Did you truly believe you could deceive me, Nayuta Sadmati? One should hold no reservations if one is to stand on these hallowed funerary grounds. I have none, Your Eminence. No, it is clear we cannot leave this matter to you. We shall handle the prosecution of enemy of the crown, Dirk Sadmati, personally. Is that allowed? Are you a prosecutor? But remain by our side and bear witness to how a true prosecutor enforces the law. Excuse me, but is the Queen going to prosecute the case? Is that, kosher? There is no need for concern. Before we were crowned queen, we served as a prosecutor. Okay, well, very convenient that was literally never mentioned until now. Ah! Oh, this freaking game, dude. Really? As a foreigner, your ignorance can be excused, but know this. The prosecutor in charge of the Queen Amara assassination 23 years ago was none other than her evidence. Stop. Oh, you can't do that. First your Majesty and now this. Why doesn't anyone ever tell me these things? I'd heard she served as the Minister of Justice. You did not, Phoenix. You're freaking lying. But she was also a prosecutor? I'm guessing she probably moved up to the ladder from prosecutor to justice minister. Okay, I guess, but still. We prosecuted that case 23 years ago, but no verdict was ever rendered. We had one guilty verdict in every case until then, for no lawyer could stand up to us. I am at a loss for words. To think I would once more bear witness to her evidence at work in the Hall of Justice. Our first trial in 23 years. No quarter shall be given to criminals. We shall prosecute them with all our might. Good thing you kept that license active then. Love it. Wait, what? I've never seen this. What? Who the heck is this? What the? That's Queen Garan? Talk about an extreme makeover. I had no idea about this. Why does nobody talk about this? It's all coming back now. The feel of my blood pumping through my veins. Woe to you, O enemies of Khura'in, for I shall personally slice, dice, and grind you up into hog feed. I don't suppose I can ask her to roll back to her polite pre-makeover personality. It's a fan, right? It's a fan, right? Know this, lawyer. Yes? Now that I stand as prosecutor, consider your defense's bench a headsman's scaffold. Headsman's scaffold. Can you say something? What are you going to say? Tell us. Share with the class. It's okay, Daisy. You have the floor. Share with the class. If you wish to leave any last words, I advise you to start thinking of them now. Would? I really like the fit. I'm not crazy about the hair. I'm not crazy about the anime drill hair. I'm sorry. It's just not doing it for me. But the paddle is really good. And the blue, and I mean, the purple and gold, I mean, I'm biased, but it's good. It's good. I'm fine with it. It's okay. Well, you still have a head with which to think, that is. Meep. She's dead serious. Bro said meep. Now, it is time for the divination seance. Rafa, come forth. Oh gosh, Rafa is like, I don't even. Man, I feel so bad for her. Your benevolence, thank you for gracing us with your presence. Your benevolence. I understand it may be difficult for you, but may we proceed with the divination seance? Yes, let us proceed. Forgive me for asking, but are you feeling physically unwell? If so, I would advise you to avoid any undue exertion. Well, I think it's a bit late for that. Your benevolence? What's wrong? It's like her mind's anywhere but here. A lot's happened since yesterday. On top of the murder of her beloved father, she found out that he'd been planning a coup. And today she'll have to experience his death through his own eyes. Yeah, that would be enough to shake anyone up. Still, it seems like she's worse off today than she was yesterday. Yeah, I don't remember her being this depressed. We must speak with our child. It is a mother's duty to discipline her child, after all. Now, if you would excuse us. Discipline? Coming from her, I don't like the sound of that at all. Wait. Garan didn't do something to her, did she? Your evidence about today's divination seance? As I understand it, the prosecution has yet to review its content. Is this deviation from protocol a part of your plan? Prosecutor Sadmati, would you care to explain your actions? Your evidence. The accused was caught at the scene of the crime. Therefore, I deemed no seance would be necessary for such a clear-cut case. Okay, that's really good too. You and your bleeding heart. You seek to spare Rafa the trauma of witnessing her father's death. Is that why you have done this? Not at all. You were concerned for me, Prosecutor Sadmati? That's oddly compassionate of him, all things considered. You do not, under any circumstances, gotta hand it to him. Your evidence, your majesty, regardless of what is best for her benevolence, this case is blessed with a bounty of incontrovertible evidence. So, I believed we could reach a swift verdict without devoting precious time to a seance. You have a point. Personally, I would like to spare her benevolence any undue misery. Experiencing the murder of a loved one is a burden no one should have to bear. Prosecutor Sadmati, your majesty, can this trial truly proceed without a divination seance? Can't blame her for not wanting to experience her father's murder firsthand. Your eminence, what are your feelings on the matter? Shall we have her benevolence return home for some much-needed rest? We shall not. You fools spoil her with your feckless words of compassion. Yikes. Okay. Listen well, Rafa. You have spoken time and time again about how grown up you are now. Yes, but I'm actually a kid. It's the thing. So, let us see if the royal priestess has truly come into her own. Are you prepared to fulfill your duty and perform the divination seance as you should? Yes. That's better. See? Problem solved. Damn. Poor Rafa. Is this really a good idea? I guess we'll see. Very well. Let us begin the divination seance. Nena, my robe. Oh. Man. Looks like Nana's still missing. It's been a whole day already. Barbed head? Yes? You remove my robe. What? Why me? Don't keep her benevolence waiting now, Mr. Wright. Can't you see she's ready to begin? Great, I have been reduced to royal robe remover. It's like she's grooming Mr. Wright to be Nana's replacement. Very well, your benevolence. Please start when you are ready. Come, Rafa. You know what must be done. There is no turning back now. I know. The final memories of the deceased. This should be interesting.
O Holy Mother, we hold this divination seance in your
Hell no,
name.
they didn't just use the same clip. They couldn't have done another recording
Let
of
the
it?
eyes of everyone here be clear.
Oh wait, this is different.
And our ears be unstopped. O dance of devotion, guide the victim's soul to me, so that we may receive their final memories in the pool of souls.
I hate how this is a different resolution. Why are there black bars? Okay, well, it was a 3DS game. That's probably why. They couldn't have fixed the aspect ratio, though. It's such a tiny bar. It's such a tiny bar. They could have just zoomed in a little bit. It would have been fine. Yeah, I mean, this is probably exactly what it looked like on 3DS. It was probably pre-rendered on there too, right? Although didn't they do a 2D animated version of this that was honestly like way better animated? I'm kind of surprised they didn't keep using that. Like her legs clip through her dress. Come on. Disappointing. It's just not doing it. It's just not doing it for me, love. Okay, this again. Oh my god, wow, she's not good. I Oh my god. Oh my god. Your benevolence. What's wrong? This is not good. Your evidence? Do you have any idea why her benevolence collapsed so suddenly? Oh, I just can't imagine why. It's just such a mystery. It seems she was not ready for what the deceased was to reveal. It overwhelmed her. Her inexperience and immaturity left her ill-prepared to face her father's death. Huh. And she said she could go through with it. How very disappointing. I know someone who's not winning Mother of the Year, ever. I mean, of course Rafe is going to be overwhelmed. She's still just a child. It seems we have no choice but to move on to the witness testimony. Your Majesty? Oh, yes, let us proceed. Bailiff, summon the first witness, if you would. Oh, yeah. He's looking chill as a pumpkin right here. I don't know why I said chill as a pumpkin. I don't know. He's looking like a chill guy who just doesn't give a heck. It is indeed. I thought I would give him the opportunity to plead his case. For true justice is more than a unilateral presentation of the facts by the prosecution. When you're chill as a pumpkin, cool as a cucumber. That seems uncharacteristically fair of her. However, should the accused fail to produce convincing testimony, he, along with his cabal of traitorous lawyers, shall immediately be found guilty, and their heads will roll from their shoulders. What? I should have known there was a catch. Your court, your rules. Same as it always was, I see, Garon. Now then, Mr. Dirk Sadmati, if you could enlighten us as to what happened. Well, I would if I could. Dirk explains himself. I was struck by a sudden dizziness the moment I entered the tomb. The next thing I knew, I was standing there with a bloody knife in my hand, and lying right in front of me was Inga, dead as a doornail. I've no recollection of what happened in the interim, but I didn't kill him. At least I don't think I did. It'd go against everything I believe in. Pumpkins are really true for it. You're like, okay, I'm gonna cut a creepy face into you and cut a hole on your head and put a candle in it. And they're like, yeah, sure. True. True, exactly. It looks like it's just meant to put a face on it, right? There's just so much real estate to work with. You can't really put a face on a cucumber, not without it getting all gross and rotten really fast, you know? It just works. That didn't explain squat. For the record, let it be known that the accused's fingerprints were all over the murder weapon. And since he was caught in the act, there was no chance for a third party to tamper with it. Well, that certainly seems to point the finger at you, Mr. Sadmati. Even as a lawyer, I have to agree with you there, Your Majesty. Seriously, Dirk, this is no laughing matter. This is exactly what Garon wanted. To have Dirk try to plead his case, only to fail miserably. How low can she go? Prosecutor, behold this most unpleasant of spectacles, and let it be etched into your soul. See how, instead of accepting the inevitable, those fish-brained lawyers flounder and flop themselves straight into the abyss of despair. Yes, Your Eminence, show me the way. He's an eager beaver all of a sudden. Now then, would the defense please begin their cross-examination? Here we go. Dirk explains himself. Alright, let's just start pressing him. You were struck by a sudden dizziness. Was it because of his illness? Is that something that has ever happened to you before? Can't say that it has. Maybe age is catching up with me. I'm no spring chicken after all. That's not the issue here. A most cunning excuse, one befitting an insidious insurgent. Oh? A killer who does not recall his crime. Why is she standing like a Danganronpa sprite? Why is she hitting the Komaida pose? How very convenient. I imagine you will plead insanity. You aim to seek a lesser sentence through excuses and subterfuge, do you not? Don't make me laugh, your malevolent. Boom! Roasted. Sigma male. Boom, boom, boom. Boom, 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 boom. Your malevolence. Hi, Craig. Good to see you. Hope you're having a good one. That's where you're wrong. Literally. How dare you? I'm merely stating my innocence. I have no intention of offering excuses. It's your baseless speculation I would decry as foolish. You deceitful witch. Ooh. Barbed. That's barbed, and I don't mean Phoenix's head. Is it your wish that I should claim your head right now, in this very hall? Well, that would certainly speed things along.
Hold it!
Dirk, why don't you let me handle it from here? You're literally gonna talk. This guy's literally gonna yap himself into getting executed for murder. And if there's anything you need to say, you can say it through me, okay? Anything to stop you from needling the queen. Next time you have an objection, you'd better have some proof to go with it, Dirk. The accused will continue with what he does recall of the crime. Barbed sharper than Apollo's spikes. Oh yeah, oh yes. The next thing I knew, I was standing there with a bloody knife in my hand. Do you recall anyone putting the knife in your hand, Dirk? Wish I could say I did, but I don't remember a thing from before I came to. You think there might have been a third party in the tomb, son? Yeah, because if you didn't do it, then the real killer must have been there with you.
Objection!
Okay, that's not an objection. God. She's too much. You called your evidence? Does she go anywhere without those goons? Was there a third party in the tomb when you were securing it? Know your evidence. We searched high and low, but found no one of the sort. And there you have it. Oh, yeah, your own royal guard would never lie for you. Oh, that would never happen. Oh, right, they did search the place. Furthermore, my guards had the entire tomb surrounded, so there was no way for anyone to escape. That's right, no one got in or out without our knowledge. Her evidence's on-site directives were absolutely flawless.
Urdihara Garan!
Urdihara Garan. Ah. Do you see now? The presence of a third party is beyond the realm of possibility. The tomb was, for all intents and purposes, completely sealed off from the rest of the world. Ooh, a closed room mystery. Wait, you can see her. Oh my gosh, you can actually see her full model when she's standing like that. She's doing the standing emoji. She ate the sushi from AutoZone on the way in here. I'm sorry. Thanks for nothing, gallery guy, as if your grades weren't already deep enough. Accused, what do you believe about the possible presence of a third party? Literally that. Well, based on the situation you presented, I'd say the chances are slim to none. You didn't have to agree with her, Dirk. Let the accused's statement be added to his testimony. Very well, Mr. Sadmati, if you would. It's like the more we press, the thinner our case gets. Well, let's keep pressing, and maybe we'll work out the wrinkles in it, too. The possibility of a third party being there in the tomb is probably non-existent. Wait, we should take a look at the court record. It's been a while. Unidentified bloodstain from Amara's tomb. It was already wiped up and does not belong to the victim. Does not belong to the victim doesn't mean does belong to Dirk. You still have to prove that it doesn't belong to Dirk. All you've proven is that it does not belong to Inga. That doesn't mean it belongs to Dirk, right? It could be somebody else's.
Objection!
Your evidence. I'm afraid this trial would not go exactly as you anticipated. Because I can show how there might have been a third party in that tomb. Oh, how very fascinating. Go on, I do so love a good fairy tale. We did a luminol test at the crime scene, and we found a blood stain that didn't match the Justice Minister's blood. I will remind you that neither Dirk nor Miss Fey were injured during the incident. The thing is, this bloodstain we found had been wiped up by someone. What's this? But who would have done such a thing? That's the big question, isn't it? Who wiped up the blood and why? Thinking about it logically, it must be someone who wanted to conceal their presence at the scene of the crime. Oh, and to whom you suppose this bloodstain might belong? The bloodstain belongs to Amara, the real killer, the victim. It does not belong to the victim, right? Does not belong to the victim. Could belong to Jeff the killer. The bloodstain belongs to the real killer, of course. Whoever it was, they were probably shot while they were attacking Minister Inca. And since their blood would give them away, they had to wipe it up. I say this because we know for a fact that the Justice Minister fired his gun in the tomb.
Objection!
Oh, there was that too, right? You have the memory of a flea. There was nowhere for anyone to hide. This too is a known fact.
Objection!
I don't know about that. But a bloodstain from a third party means there must have been someone hiding there. Very well then, tell me this. Where was this third party hiding? Oh, the crime scene was thoroughly searched after it was discovered. So if there was a hiding place, it would have to be somewhere no one would dare look. I mean, I don't see why it has to be a hiding place. Could have just been in the room. Somewhere no one would dare look. Huh. Let's have your answer, defense. Scarmophagos. Now, where could a third party have been hidden? Inside the Scarmophagos?
Take that!
There's one place no one would search. Not even the Queen's Royal Guard. But we did. And that would be inside Queen Amara's sarcophagus. Even now, it's locked up tight. No one would find you if you're hidden there. I'm told that it's temperature control to preserve the mummy within. But if someone dressed warmly enough, they could withstand the cold for a short time. This is sacrilege. Surely the perpetrator of such a foul deed would be cursed. But that's just it. The killer knew everyone would be too scared to open the sarcophagus. True, the guards were so scared of being cursed they wouldn't even touch it. And when the coast was clear, the killer made a quick escape from within the frigid confines. Well, now that does sound like a plausible method of evading capture. The defense requests a DNA test on the bloodstain. And then we'll see just who the real killer is.
Such insolence!
Oh, we get a new one? Such insolence. I love that. Bow your head and kneel, lawyer. Okay. She meant, okay, it's fine. So your head may be parted from your shoulders. Huh? But the trial's not even over. She's actually just gonna kill him. What? What? You did what? Come on. How soon you forget. You are already on the headsman's scaffold. As such, I could order your beheading at any moment. Okay. All I did was request a DNA test. There is no need to request such a test. Royal Guard, bring it forth now. Here you are, your evidence. The police have already identified the source of the bloodstain. The DNA test revealed that the blood is of the traitor, Dirk Sadmani. I don't trust that. But Dirk wasn't injured, so where did his blood come from? Maybe he coughed it up. Dirk's illness. Still, there was a lot of blood. Could he have really coughed up that much? And did he wipe it up to hide his failing health? Dirk, is it really that bad? Ah, shoot, you got me. No. Pay attention, horned devil, for this case has already been solved. You claimed that this bloodstain would lead us to the real killer, did you not? About that. Did you or did you not make that claim of your own volition, Defense? Yes, I did. After she steered you in that direction, that is. I fell right into her trap. Do you see now the folly in opposing the very embodiment of the law? Whatever you say or do shall come to no avail. A third party at the scene of the crime? It's beyond the realm of possibility. No! Praise be for Queen Garan. Her evidence's legal tactics are beyond compare. I hate to say this, but she really got us good. The key to Amara's sarcophagus is under the protection of the royal family. My husband and I are the only ones who could open it. Therefore, it would be impossible for some knave to open it. Can I really discount the sarcophagus as a hiding place, though? Yes, I am the only one who has the key. I keep it under my pillow. What if the real killer is still in there? No, that's just ridiculous. I believe we have rebels and sympathizers in the gallery today. It is to you I speak. Have you been listening? Dirk Sadmati, the one who proclaimed a bloodless revolt, has betrayed your cause by resorting to murder. Yeah. No, it can't be. Dirk would never. There must be some kind of mistake. The Defiant Dragons and their sympathizers are starting to have doubts. So this is why Garan allowed us to cross-examine Dirk. By establishing his guilt in Inga's murder, she's effectively damaged his reputation among those who support him. True, but now we have an even bigger problem. And now, filthy lawyers, you will honor your end of the bargain. Accept your guilty verdict for your failure to explain your client's actions. Well, oh, throwing the book at him. Now, I shall pass judgment upon the criminal, Dirk Sadmati. What's this? You shall pass judgment? But your evidence, is that not my role? Hold your tongue. You are but a figurehead before me, the embodiment of law. Consider yourself dismissed. Oh! As Queen of Kurain, I shall now pass judgment upon the accused. Front facing. Okay, alright, well. Why is everyone cheering and hooting and hollering?
Objection!
Wait. You didn't even give me a chance to rebut. Know when you are defeated, lawyer. But just this once, I am willing to show you the depths of my compassion. Tell me why I should allow these proceedings to continue. Come, convince me. Quick, Apollo. Even if you have to bluff, we gotta keep this trial going. Show her that the crime could have been committed by a third party. How am I supposed to do that? Why don't you start with, how about the timing of Inga's murder? What? This whole case is built on a single premise, that Inga was murdered after Dirk entered the tomb. But what if that's not true? Like if our exceptions are all wrong? It just might work. Well, don't keep us waiting, Defense. Dirk became the prime suspect, because it didn't seem probable that there was a third party at the scene of the crime. But there is another question we should ask ourselves at this time. Was Minister Inga really killed after Dirk entered the tomb? What nonsense is this? Setting aside the assumption that the murder occurred after Dirk arrived on the scene, opens up the possibility of a third party committing the crime. The question before us is, when was Minister Inga really killed? After the body was found, after Dirk entered the tomb. It might be before he entered, right? I think well, we obviously can't. We obviously can't argue that it happened after he came in, because that would be basically agreeing that he murdered him. So we gotta fake it until we make it, I guess. Isn't it possible that before Dirk even set foot in the tomb, Minister Inga was already dead? Huh, that would certainly make the possibility of a third party more probable. Why, of course. I fell unconscious right after I entered the tomb. Even if I hadn't, I wouldn't have had a clear line of sight to his body from the entrance. Which means you wouldn't have noticed his body either way. This scenario is entirely possible, and so we can't rule out the possibility of a third person committing the crime. I see. Well, that certainly does make sense. So far, so good. This might actually work. Very well. I shall play along with whatever little game you have knocking around in that tiny mind. I was starting to get quite bored of all this. I could do with a distraction. Yes. Let us hear some testimony that will shed light on when exactly the minister was slain. Bailiff, summon Rafa. Surely she has recovered by now. You need to chill out. But what about me? Don't I serve a purpose anymore? I hope you are feeling better, Your Benevolence. Must I perform the divination seance? What? Oh, no. We merely require your testimony this time. How could my testimony be of any value? Your Benevolence. Princess Rafa seems awfully depressed. After what she's been through, summoning her again is like rubbing salt in the wound. Being unable to perform the seance was probably the last straw. I hope she doesn't pass out again. Prosecutor Sadbadi, may I ask you something? Of course, Your Benevolence. I've been meaning to ask you this since yesterday. Did you know about Queen Amara? And about me? From where did you hear such a thing? From Mother, and only yesterday. Rafa was carrying on about telling the truth to the people, so I told her. I told her what the truth really was, for it is up to a mother to discipline her child. I see. Be that as it may, Your Benevolence, it has no bearing upon our trial here today, so there is no need to let it trouble you. I know. Garand told Rafa about something other than Amara's status? Sounds like it, but what could it be? Rafa, the defense has proposed something preposterous. They somehow think your father was already dead when Dirk entered the tomb. But I believe you can prove them wrong. Are you prepared to do what is required of you? Yes, I am ready to testify. Oh. Very well then, Your Benevolence. Your testimony, if you please. Man. What Rafa witnessed. On the day of the murder, I was gazing upon the courtyard from my second-floor veranda. Around 2:30 p.m., I saw my father heading for Amara's tomb. Then, at about 2:45, I saw Barbed Head and company enter the courtyard. I saw no one go in or out of the tomb after my father entered at about 2:30. That's not making it very good for us. Your second floor veranda? Oh, she must be talking about that house facing Inga's private residence. So that's the location from which you saw your father, and at about 2:30. Yes, and shortly after that, you people arrived at the royal residence. So, after the minister entered Amara's tomb at around 2:30, no one went in or out of there until the murder was discovered. The tomb is closed to outsiders, so no one could have snuck in before the murder. That rules out any possibility of a third party lying in wait to slay my poor husband. Or so she'd like us to believe. Now hear me, you useless lawyer. Cease this charade and bow before me. For I, Queen Garan, shall finally have your head. Oh, forgive me your evidence, but first let us allow the defense to question the witness. What? Ready for witness? Day of the murder, gazing upon the courtyard. We'll press on that.
Hold it!
You say you'd been watching the courtyard until we arrived, correct? That seems like an awfully long time. There is much that weighs on my mind. I see. She really does sound troubled. I don't think she ever fully recovered from the previous trial. Your benevolence, as crown princess, you are destined to rule this kingdom one day. That means there will be many things that you alone must determine. Things like how to keep your people happy, and what is true and what is false. And most importantly, what role you must play therein. I wonder if I'm even up to the task. I guess it's not easy being a princess. Your benevolence. I'd be happy to lend an ear if you'd ever like to talk. Is now the time, dude? What would you know of my woes? Do not presume to exceed your station in life. Sheesh, teenagers. They scare the living crap out of me. Your benevolence, what did you witness from your veranda? Well, around 2:30 p.m., I saw my father heading for Amara's tomb.
Hold it!
Did your father seem different or troubled in any way? Huh, let me think. Oh, there was one unusual thing. There was. Yes, a shriek emanated from within my father's quarters. After which I witnessed him bolt outside, his countenance drained of its usual color. He screamed and he was looking pale? What do you suppose happened? I know not. Perhaps he had a bad dream? Maybe it was a nightmare about being raked over the coals by the queen. It seems our young lawyer here wishes to hasten his journey to the Twilight Realm. Sorry, that was rude of me. Does the defense believe the witness's last statement to be important? I believe it is. I would like the witness to add it to her testimony. My father let out a scream and came dashing out of his room, his face pale. We might be presenting again. Oh, we have 3 pages of stuff. There's so much going on here. At around 2 p.m. This is the same thing. Albie's statement. At around 2 p.m. At around 2 p.m., Shadow was surprised by a firecracker, ran to the courtyard, and stole Nana's hat. At around 2 p.m., Dath leapt out of a Mazar manhole, got yelled at by a dog, and a warbad, and then threw a firecracker. The shocked look on Albie's face had Dath in stitches when the police came. The noise spooked Shadow, who ran off.
Objection!
What is that noise? Oh, that was one of my Chords of Steel voice training exercises. Wait, that was wrong. Huh. Oh, sorry. We're gonna press on that new statement actually.
Hold it!
Huh. And why do you think he screamed? Was he surprised by someone who didn't belong there? Did anyone else come out? I didn't see anyone else. Just my father. That last statement was seriously lacking in conviction. Should I press her on this? Press harshly. Your benevolence, let's have some details. The more the better. Details, you say? Yes. For example, are you sure you didn't see anyone in the royal residence before 2:30? Well, is that a yes or a no? Eek! Foreign devil, I'd been gazing upon the courtyard since about 2 yesterday. Yet I saw none other than my father. Oh, if only I had stopped him then. I think you've struck a nerve, or rather, obliterated one. Maybe I pressed a little too hard. Still, that last statement seemed a little off somehow. So you didn't see anyone except your father in the courtyard after 2 p.m., huh? Please add that to your testimony, your benevolence. I had been gazing upon the courtyard since about 2, but father was the only one I saw. Yeah, this is the one we present Albie's statement on.
Hold it!
Oh, I didn't mean to do that. That's fine. Sora isn't always so empty. Naturally, it is where the royal family lives, and we are few in number. Besides Nana and the little birds who visit, I have no one else to talk to. Is there anything more stereotypically princessy than talking to birds? So Nana wasn't around at all yesterday. It seems she was quite busy. I was all alone the entire day. It's been like that a lot lately. Rafa doesn't go to school, so she probably doesn't have any close friends. She must lead a rather solitary life. I guess being a princess isn't all it's cracked up to be. I mean, what is it cracked up to be? Let's be honest. Rafa, I shall buy you a new servant. I don't want you to buy me a servant like some sort of pet. I want Nana. I'm beginning to see why Rafa turned out like she did. Your benevolence, please tell us about what happened. It was around 2:30. Present Albie's statement.
Objection!
Your benevolence, you're covering for someone, aren't you? Huh? I don't know what you're talking about. Sorry, Rafa, but you're not gonna like this. Well, the thing is, I have a statement here that you might find interesting. It's from a witness who claims that around 2 p.m. his dog got loose and ran into the palace courtyard. That's when the little fellow stole this hat from someone. Ah, that's Nada's. I mean, nothing. Never mind. Huh? You fool of a daughter. How can you say that? It seems the princess made a blunder. So let me get this straight. This is Nana's hat, which means she had to have been in the royal residence at around 2. If so, then you had to have seen Nana sometime after 2 yesterday. Oh no! Please, your benevolence, tell us what you really saw. It is as you say, Hornhead. I saw Nana, and I saw that dingbat dog steal her hat from her in front of my father's residence. Gonna hydrate 1 sec. Sorry, just give me 1 sec. But why didn't you say so in the first place? But because my mother told me not to. What? Would you care to explain your evidence? Your evidence? Your evidence? I requested she withhold said information, for it is of no relevance to this case.
Objection!
Wah. You don't get to decide. If you disagree, then prove that it is relevant to the case at hand. Oh, I will. Your benevolence, Please tell us everything you witnessed when you saw Nana. Alright. When I saw that dingbat dog attack Nana, I ran to help. I raced from my second floor veranda down into the courtyard. Wait, that means that while you were coming down, you took your eyes off the courtyard. Yes, but only for a moment. This is crucial testimony. If you took your eyes off the courtyard, it means somebody else could have entered the tomb without you ever knowing. Ah, Your Benevolence, are you sure no one else was there? Yes. She's hiding something again. What about Nana? Were you able to help her? When I got down to the courtyard, Nana she was gone. Gone? Yes, and I never saw her again after that. Any idea what happened? That dingbat dog must have gobbled her up. I seriously doubt that. But how could Nana simply disappear while Rafa wasn't looking? Rafa must know something. The only question is what? Why Shadow was in the courtyard? Why Nana disappeared? Where Nana disappeared to? Probably where? Do you have any idea where Nana disappeared to? What do you mean? Well, during the time you took your eyes off the courtyard, someone could have headed into the tomb, and it just so happens that Nana disappeared right at that moment. No. Wait, you think Nana had something to do with the murder? I don't think we can rule it out. It sounds like something had kept Nana occupied since the early morning. Plus, she was seen right before the murder, and then seemed to vanish into thin air. You're right. And since she's Rafa's attendant, she could come and go as she pleased within the palace grounds. Could Rafa's attendant really be the killer? But that would mean... first my father, and now Nana. These were the people I trusted most. How could this be?
Objection!
Do not heed their lies. Lawyers are a foul breed, quick to claim that a third party is to blame for a crime. Nana did not enter the tomb. That much is certain. How can you be so sure? When Nana's hat was stolen, that crazed curse spilled an urn full of water upon my husband's doorstep. Is that not right, Rafa? Yes it is. While that dingbat dog was tugging on Nana's hat, it tipped over the urn. The bottoms of her shoes would have been soaked with water. And if she had truly headed into the tomb with wet shoes, she would have left shoe prints along the way. But the only shoe prints to be found belonged to my husband, Inga. Huh? Then... That's right. Nana never did go into the tomb that day. Instead, she entered my husband's private quarters. How do you know? It's quite simple. Shoe prints were discovered in Inga's private quarters. Shoe prints that belonged to Nana. That's right, Edgeworth and I did see some shoe prints in there. Oh yeah, I forgot Edgeworth was part of this case. He was so inconsequential that I forgot. Now do you understand? Nana could not possibly have gone into the tomb. And that supposed third person at the crime scene is but a figment of your imagination. Ugh. Another glorious deduction. All hail the genius that is her evidence, Queen Garan. Bow down before her glory, witness lawyer. Dihara Garan. Could those guys fanboy any harder? But is it really true? Did Nana not go into the tomb? Excuse me, but Mr. Wright? Your Benevolence, what time was it when that dog attacked Nana? I believe it was about 2:15 p.m. I see. Apollo, if Nana entered Inga's private quarters at around 2:15, and Inga came racing out at around 2:30, pale-faced and screaming, then I know what you're getting at. Yes, that might explain his scream. Would the defense please share their theory regarding Justice Minister Inga's scream? Certainly, Your Majesty. Minister Inga screamed because he had a bad dream. He was attacked by Nana. I was thinking maybe the dog scared him, but maybe he was attacked by Nana. Maybe he was attacked by Nana. This would make the Justice Minister's private quarters the real scene of the crime. Does your idiocy know no bounds? The minister's body was found in the tomb. Or are you suggesting that the body was moved? Do I think the minister was moved from his private quarters? I think the possibility exists. Considering the fact that the body was found in the tomb, I'd say there is a possibility. Huh, what utter nonsense. Rafa had been watching the courtyard. Yet you would suggest that someone could have transported the body unnoticed? You have a point there. In that case, I'd say there's no way that the body was moved. After all, there was an awful lot of blood in the tomb. I understand if the scream was in reaction to Nana's attack, but Inga died in the tomb. We need to explain how those two realities could coincide. How are we supposed to do that? Oh, maybe. Maybe where he was stabbed and where he died were two completely different things. Locations. What do you mean? It's just, let's look at this as simply as possible. If the minister's body wasn't moved, he might have been stabbed by Nana in his private quarters, but then died in the tomb. I see. On the one hand, that seems plausible, but on the other, it seems decidedly implausible. Okay, dude. Thank you for that. Very, 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 very illuminating. Prosecutor Sadmati, what is that fool babbling on about now? Is this a riddle from one of those fortune cookies Americans seem so fond of? That's funny. Perhaps, but I believe he himself does not know what he means to say. In all likelihood, it was a poor attempt to confuse us. We should simply ignore him.
Objection!
I wasn't finished yet, so hold off on the analysis, would you? The autopsy report never stated that the minister's death was instantaneous. So, he could have conceivably moved from one place to another after being stabbed. Oh my, are you suggesting he ran all the way to the tomb with a knife sticking out of his back? Well, yes, that's the gist of it. In short, Minister Inga saw Nana with a knife, let out a scream, and when he turned his back to her to flee. Right, and that's when he was stabbed from behind. Well, Your Majesty, does my theory hold water?
Such insolence!
Oh, yeah. How dare you bore me like this? Huh? You are a humorless moron, spewing an endless stream of unamusing drivel. I wasn't trying to be funny, Your Eminence. Prosecutor, enlighten this ignorant clown in lawyer's clothing. Your Eminence. Ha! Bro. He's so unserious. Nayuta? You dull, slow-witted, putrid-minded lawyer. Perhaps you would be too stupid to notice you had been stabbed in the back. But a normal person would have noticed due to the excruciating pain. Now hold on. Allow me to teach you the meaning of pain. Ah, please stop. Nayuta has a point. Does he now, Phoenix? Does he? Normally, most people would notice a dagger on the back. Oh, yeah, I doubt someone could ignore pain like this. Still, in this case, it's the word normally that we should emphasize. Apollo, take another look at the court record. Right, there must be something that explains this. There's a reason Inga didn't feel any pain, and the defense will submit evidence proving just that. Oh wait, I think I know what this is. Yeah, he takes painkillers.
Take that!
Ah, those are my father's painkiller shots. The defense will explain the significance of this evidence. Minister Inga suffered from terrible back pain, so he often injected himself with these. We're told that one shot in the back would make all his pain go away. With this, it's easy to explain what happened. Don't tell me you didn't know about these, your evidence. You can't mean. Minister Inga was stabbed in his back, close to where he usually injected the painkiller. Therefore, it's entirely possible that he hadn't noticed that he'd been stabbed. What was this? Dang, this is really faking it till we make it. But I love it. It's good. Then, are you suggesting Justice Minister Inga really ran off with a knife protruding from his back? I am, Your Majesty. So then, when I saw my father, he had a knife sticking out of him? I mean, with that cape of his, I couldn't see his back very well. Yes, the knife was there. It was just plunged in so deep you didn't notice it under the cape. Therefore, when you saw your father, he was already dead. Murdered by Nena in his private quarters. Pokunka! Holy Mother of Kurain, are we dealing with the living dead here? Well, technically he wasn't dead yet. I know it's hard to believe, but this is a plausible sequence of events. And once Minister Inga arrived at the tomb, he could have removed the knife and dropped dead from blood loss. Nena killed my father? There must be some mistake. The defense would like to call Nena to the stand. Oh, suddenly she's very concerned about that. You seek to drag an innocent old woman to the stand with no proof whatsoever. Well, there's no real proof, but... Huh. What a tangled web of expedient lies you weave. I can no longer tell fact from fiction. Who or what shall I believe in now? I'm sorry, Rafa. All I've done is confuse you. But I have a sneaking suspicion Nena's involved in this case one way or another. Just when I thought we'd blown this case wide open. Well, there's no turning back now. You fool of a lawyer. I know why you are so desperate to prove the accused innocent. You do? Yes, because he faces public execution if proven guilty. As shall you, under the stipulations of the Defense Culpability Act. From the moment you accepted this case, you have had no choice but to fight for your lives. No, the simple fact is, I've always believed that Dirk is innocent. Bah, still you cling to your pretense. Very well, I shall offer you a bargain. If you would admit that the accused is guilty, right here, right now, I shall overlook your crime of abetting him, and you will not be subject to execution. Oh. That almost sounds like changing the legal system. That almost sounds like a turnabout revolution. Whoa. Is this some sort of joke? Far from it. As queen, I have the power to grant pardons, even to criminals like you. And with the wave of my hand, I can even reduce the severity of a sentence. Boom. Perhaps even for Dirk, should you be willing to cooperate. She's literally doing a plea bargain. She wasn't kidding when she said that she's the law here. But to flaunt that power in our faces like that, that's just wrong. Forget all that has transpired in our kingdom and return to your own country in peace. Well, will you abandon your defense of the accused and accept my generous offer? If I don't take this deal, we'll be executed along with Dirk if he's found guilty. What should I do? We're gonna continue. Nice try, Garan, but it looks like you don't know what justice is made of. We won't kowtow to threats like that, Your Evidence. Your Eminence. I keep saying Your Evidence. Mr. Wright, I'm sorry, but I can't back down now. I don't want to drag you into this, so... Don't worry, I'm with you, Apollo. To the bitter end, if need be. And while I can't say I'm used to it, this isn't exactly my first rodeo. I can understand if you don't believe me, but I still believe in you and your innocence. So all I have to do is keep believing and find the truth. That's all there is to it. So keep on fighting, Apollo. You'll hear no objections from me. You nincompoops. You'll die if you lose this case. Why would you even entertain the notion of continuing? I believe that Dirk is innocent. That's why. And besides, trials exist to give the truth a chance to get out into the open. You can't give out just because you're afraid of some punishment. Even if that punishment is death? Does that not frighten you, Hornhead? Who wouldn't be scared? I mean, just thinking about it. Makes me weak in the knees, to be honest. But as a lawyer, I have a duty to protect my client. I can't just abandon that. A duty you're willing to die for. And yet, duty. It's a heavy burden, all right. Rayfield looks like she's really struggling. How many times are we gonna read the same Maya line? I'm sorry, but like, what? This is like the 4th time, I feel like. But it's no surprise, considering the torrent of painful truths she's had to face. Very well, then. If the defense is prepared to face the death sentence under the Defense Culpability Act, then I see no reason not to continue with the proceedings. But I must admit, I see no grounds for doubting the accused's guilt. Unless the defense has further evidence that would indicate a different suspect. Do we have anything like that? Well, lawyer, do you have any new evidence you would care to present? Or shall I have the executioner start his preparations? If she thinks I can't do this, she's got another thing coming. But first, I have some serious thinking to do. I'd say that new evidence indicating a different suspect does not exist. Such evidence does not exist. Huh, just as I thought. I was so hoping you'd present meaningless evidence and allow me to claim your head. Glad I didn't walk head first into that one then. So, what now, Apollo? Well, unless we can prove that Nena killed Inga, this trial is over, and so are we. Isn't there still a way to get the proof we need? Even without evidence? You know, a key means of obtaining testimony here in Khura'in? Huh? Wait, are you actually suggesting... It certainly won't be easy, but it's worth a try. Your Majesty, a crucial step in uncovering the truth behind this case has yet to be taken in this trial. But I'm positive that I can back up our claim with this one step. You mean you will be able to prove that Nena killed Justice Minister Inga? And just how do you propose to do that? With the help of a certain someone. You need help? From someone? Well, I can't imagine who it could be. But I suppose I must ask. Whose help do you need to uncover the truth? Rafa.
Take that!
Take that. But that is... Me? Here in Khura'in, legal proceedings include the viewing of the victim's final moments. But that requires your benevolence's help. Such information is just as vital as any other piece of conclusive evidence. If you're right about this, Rafa's power should enable her to see the very moment Nena stabbed Inga. It will be hard to watch your father's murder, but it's the only way to uncover the truth. Your benevolence, we need you and your power. You need me?
Objection!
Wretched simpleton, did you not see what ensued in the previous attempt? You would only succeed in wasting more time. Or is it your goal to make her collapse again?
Objection!
You're the one who did it the first time. The princess said she was prepared earlier. Besides, it's her duty as royal priestess. I'd say it's all up to her now. Am I prepared? Prepared to fulfill my duty? Isn't a divination seance required at all trials anyway? If so, I imagine there'd be a problem with handing down a verdict with that one. Huh, indeed. It would be problematic. Under Kuraini's law, a seance must be conducted before a verdict can be rendered.
Such insolence!
Yikes! Huh. Must you try my patience so? If I must dispense with that vexing law, then dispense with it I shall. Huh? As ruling sovereign of Kurain, I proclaim the following. Is she writing with her nail? Henceforth, divination seance shall be optional. What? She has the power to do that? She's just changing the rules as she goes. You can't do that. She just rewrote the law with a flourish of her hand. Mother, I do not wish for the trial to end like this. It is as the defense said. I must not neglect my duty simply because I am afraid. I shall go through with it this time. I will conduct the seance once more.
Such insolence!
Rafa, do not be fooled by his lawyerly guile. You are not prepared to witness your father's death. But Hornhead needs my help. Rafa, did you not tell me earlier? Did you not tell me you were prepared? But despite your grandiose posturing, you collapsed in a most piteous fashion. Even worse, you have erred in your insights of late. For it is not the barbed one there overturned. Has not the barbed one there overturned them more than once? Oh, you cannot be trusted to keep your word, nor can you reveal the truth through your insights. So I say to you, be gone. That's your daughter! This sacred hall of justice has no need for such a worthless royal priestess. Worthless? Wow. How can she say that to her own daughter? So, Mother, you think me worthless?
Objection!
Her benevolence says she can do it, doesn't she? So, I don't see why you have to condemn her before she's even made the attempt. Very well, horned devil. If you really are so bent on having a seance, I shall give my consent. I know, she's literally like the biggest victim in this whole thing. She didn't ask for any of this. However, should Rafa fail once more, you two and the accused shall all be executed on the spot. Okay, so plea bargain withdrawn, in other words. This is proving to be far more entertaining than I had anticipated. Well, lawyer, what say you? Will you wager your life and call on Rafa to perform a divination seance? We're gonna do it. I don't think you're worthless, your benevolence. Far from it, in fact. If you say you can do it, then I believe in you. Hornhead, I do not understand. If I fail, you will be put to death. I know you collapsed during your previous attempt. I can't even imagine how terrible it must have been for you. But despite that, you are willing to try again. I have faith in that conviction, in that courage. My courage? Ah, so she was doomed to fail if she didn't have the courage to perform the seance. But it looks like she's got the determination to try again. Right, and that's a bet I'm willing to take. But it is as Mother said. I've erred in my insights as of late. Not only have I failed to reveal the truth, I've also contributed to false accusations. Knowing that, can you still say that you believe in me?
Objection!
I wouldn't take stock in those words, Your Benevolence. Despite what your mother says, I don't think you've made any errors at all. Huh? In the trials I've been a part of here in Khura'in, I would have never proven my client's innocence without your seances. Because even though they didn't always reflect the absolute truth, the insight they provided served as vital leads to finding the truth. Vital leads? My seances? So please, Your Benevolence, try to perform the divination seance one more time.
Objection!
Rayfa, stop this madness. It is for your own good. You are ill prepared to face your father's death. Go, leave this sacred hall at once. No. What did you say? I said no, Mother, for I am the royal priestess of Khura'in. I have no need for you now. Even if you do not need me, Mother. Hornhead in this Hall of Justice do. He proved that to me by risking his own life. It is because of him that I now understand. The divination seance is my sacred duty. I must fulfill it, no matter the risk. Your Benevolence. Mother taught me that the divination seance was a mirror reflecting naught but the truth. But I began to have my doubts after Barbed Head disproved the insights it offered. And now I don't even know who or what to trust anymore. Father, Mother, even Nayna. I had believed in them above all others. But I finally know now. I know in what I can trust. Yeah, I mean, I think she's already pretty much made up her mind on that. The royal priestess must debate each seance with the presiding lawyer and prosecutor. So that it can be interpreted properly. That is how I believed trials here in Khura'in should function. Therefore, the Hall of Justice needs me. It is my power that leads trials toward the truth. That is my sacred duty, and I will never shirk from it again. That right there, Your Benevolence, is the product of what you've learned in your struggles so far. The truth that you realized with your own strength. As my sacred duty, I must ensure that it is fulfilled. I must have the courage and resolve to see it through. Your Eminence, the royal priestess says she will conduct the seance. I see no grounds for you to forbid it. Unless, of course, you are worried that it might reveal something you find inconvenient. Mother, I am done letting you have your way. Rayfa, you would actually rebel against me, your mother and queen. Though I am scared to see my father's death. I must face my fear. That is what Hornhead has taught me here today. Rayfa.
I am the royal priestess Rayfa Padma Khura'in.
Is it Khura'in or Khura'in? There's different ones.
I am prepared to face my father's death.
Your Eminence, It seems the princess is more grown up than you thought. Reifa. Well then, let us proceed with the divination seance. The victim's final moments. This should be interesting. I wonder what Inga's memories are going to show us.
O Holy Mother, we hold this divination seance in your name.
Imagine she just starts doing Naruto hand signs.
Let the eyes of everyone here be clear, and our ears be unstopped. O dance of devotion, guide the victim's soul to me, so that we may receive their final memories in the pool of souls.
Nah, she doesn't watch Naruto. She's a Steel Samurai stan. Or whatever it is. The Caped Crusader. No, that's not it. This is like a ripoff. I forgot what it's called. One Piece. More like mid-piece. No, I'm kidding. I like One Piece. Did you see the Cheese new chopper design? Oh, I don't know if I did. Hang on. We gotta look into this. Oh, we gotta watch this first. We'll come back to this. Okay, yeah, definitely stabbed in the back. Oh, what? Whoa. Wait. He couldn't. The face wasn't visible. Did he? Does he have face blindness? What the? Prosopagnosia. Also, here's Chopper. Here's the little guy. Oh my gosh, he's so CG. Heck yes. He's so CG right now. Look at this little guy. I'm kind of glad he's like a little creature and not like, oh man. I mean, I don't actually know. I can't really tell from this, to be honest. If he's like a guy, that's going to be kind of weird. If he's just a guy that looks like Chopper, it's going to be weird. But they've done that with other characters, so it's like I can't say they're not going to do that. It'll probably be fine. It'll probably be fine. It'll probably be fine. Also, I don't know if it was just rumored, but I think they did cast a Nico Robin. I think they casted Nico Robin. Maybe that was just... No, this is not rumor. That was real. Chopper being just a guy would be awful for not watcher, but like me, it also be fun. Well, actually, I'm a live action only. I've only watched the live action show. I've never seen. Huh. I'm trying to find this, but yeah, here we go. Oh, this is Instagram, so I can't actually look at it. I actually hate the internet. I actually hate the internet. I hate using the internet. Okay, I found it. Here we go. Yeah, that's I don't know if this is a mock-up image, but I think that actor's face is the same. Anyway, yeah, that's their casting for Nico Robin. I'd say that's pretty good. I feel like you have to be pretty accurate when it comes to the main characters, but you can kind of have some fun with it when it comes to minor characters, which they definitely have done. Yeah, aren't they making a new show too to be like a little more accessible to newcomers? I probably should. Maybe I was thinking I'll probably watch that instead when that comes out. Back when Shonen Jump was a physical magazine. Gosh, remember that? Remember when there was physical manga you could buy? Other than like volumes. Yeah, I like that. The One Piece. A faceless being. What the heck? His face, it's just like that picture of the founder. Prosopagnosia. I think that's the last thing anyone expected to see. Oh, Father, what was it? What was it you saw? Are we to understand that this was the last thing the victim saw? Yes, there can be no mistake. That was what my father himself witnessed. How very strange. You don't suppose the Holy Mother possessed the accused and slew Minister Inga for planning a coup? The divine wrath of the Holy Mother? Oh, Holy Mother, we are ever grateful for your blessings. Talk about a sharp left turn into the Twilight Zone. You know, there's one thing in there that caught my attention. That laugh. Who does it belong to and why are they laughing? Who knows? Though I suppose it could be Dirk after he slew my husband. Uh-huh. But that figure didn't even have a mouth. I think we're done here, lawyer. How so? You claim that Minister Inga was stabbed in his private quarters, and, feeling no pain, went to the tomb where he eventually fell dead. But this seance vision proved he was stabbed in the tomb, and felt great pain no less. Oh, that. Therefore, as I asserted all along, it was the accused who stabbed the minister in the tomb. Ah, everything just backfired big time. Wow, Garan has the devil's own luck, doesn't she? Now then, I shall give voice to the soul of the deceased. Listen well and heed these words. Rafa's insight. At around 3 p.m., my father was waiting in the tomb to make the hostage exchange. He was drinking grape juice while gazing upon the picture of the Holy Mother. He had been waiting vigilantly when suddenly he heard Dirk's voice. The next moment, he was stabbed in the back and collapsed. My father tried to shoot his attacker, but he was missed, and the attacker let out a laugh. So what now, Mr. Wright? It's up to us to knock holes in Rafa's interpretations of Inga's memories. In other words, we need to prove that her understanding of them could be mistaken. Okay, I'll give it a try. Hang on, though. It said, she said Dirk's voice, but this just says man's voice. That could be weird, couldn't it? Sound.
Objection!
Your benevolence, there seems to be an inconsistency in your interpretation. An inconsistency? Where? Minister Inga is far too relaxed for what was supposedly about to take place. When he heard the voice you claim is Dirk's, he didn't seem the least bit alarmed. He just kept looking at the picture of the founder. That's strange, right? He was waiting for Dirk to arrive with the founder's orb. But when he heard that voice, he didn't even turn to look. Don't you think he would have been worried about being attacked from behind? Then whose voice was it? It was likely someone whose presence wouldn't have alarmed him. Someone like a friend.
Objection!
My husband had no friends, no, okay. But there was no third party at the scene of the crime. Therefore, the voice can only have belonged to Dirk. The voice of a third party who wasn't there in the tomb. Apollo, don't we have something that could reveal the owner of the mystery voice? You know, I think we do. Something that Inga had while he was waiting for Dirk. With it, we just might be able to figure out whose voice it was. I believe we can identify the male voice Mr. Inga heard with this. Oh. There's a phone. There might be a call. That's my father's. I know this must be hard for you, but could you please look at this photo? There's something here that can point us towards the identity of the voice. This is the real source of the man's voice.
Take that!
A cell phone? Right. I believe that the voice the minister heard was of a call on this cell phone. I see. Well, that certainly makes sense. What is your eminence's view on the matter? I could see the possibility. Then it seems I must refine my vision. Subordinate's voice. It appears that the voice belonged to one of my father's subordinates. Why do you suppose he was talking to one of them then? My father had members of the secret police positioned through the palace. They were supposed to contact him as soon as they saw Dirk and the rest of you. Okay, now we're getting somewhere. Your benevolence, I believe you have an insight to revise. I know, Barbdead. Don't presume to tell me how to do my duty. Okay, now it's done. At around 3 p.m. Oh no. My father then took a call from a subordinate at the palace. So the voice was coming from the phone. That's good to know. But there might have been other sounds coming from the phone. Sounds that could be clues. Let's take another look at Rafa's insights and really focus on the various sensations. Okay, I think I'm getting the hang of this now. Yeah, now in the final trial. Subordinate's voice. Subordinate's voice. Lion's roar? Wait, what's that all about? Now, hang on just a moment. So, Lion's roar?
Objection!
Nobody's mentioned anything about that. Your benevolence, this insight is inconsistent with the vision. Oh, I think I messed up. Maybe. I feel like I have that right, though. Halt. This should be right.
Objection!
Okay. Yeah, I had it right. I don't know what I did different that time. I hate to break it to you, your benevolence, but you misinterpreted something again. What do you mean? Again. Smooth move, Apollo. I think you just hurt her feelings. She may put on a brave face, but she feels more than she lets on. Let me rephrase that, your benevolence. Your interpretation of your father's phone call to his subordinate at the palace is inconsistent with his final memory. What do you mean by that? A lion's roar could be heard over the phone. Don't you find that strange? You claimed the call was with someone at the palace. But let me ask you, do you keep lions there? No, the only animals at the palace are little birdies and my pet frog. Wait, that giant one in front of the minister's house is her pet? Besides, there aren't any lions in Khura'in. We don't even have any zoos. A rather sad state of affairs, I'm afraid. We're opening a zoo as soon as the revolution happens. Well, I remember hearing a sound like that. The lion's roar coming from the phone is actually from something hanging out in the bazaar. The warbad? The cry of the warbad. Ah. Your benevolence, do you think you can clarify the voice for me? Very well. I will now attempt to further refine my vision. Warbad's cry. What's this? Just as I suspected. It was the call of a warbad. This means the subordinate Minister Inga was talking to was in the bazaar, not the palace. But why is it important where the call came from? What significance could it have? She's right. Is it important to know where the call was made from? It's very important. It's actually very important. Knowing that the person on the other end was at the bazaar means that the loud explosion might not have been the sound of a gunshot. But I can think of no other item that makes such a noise in the area. Go ahead, Apollo. Tell her. Tell Rafa the real source of that sound. Will do. Well, Hornhead, I'm waiting. What was the true source of that explosive sound? It was an explosion. It was an explosion. Oh wait, we actually... Firecracker! It was a firecracker! Albie claimed that. What is that? It's I'll be your guide's statement. In it, he claims that Dat Arabal threw a firecracker at him while he was at the bazaar. Then... Yes, the sound heard over the phone was a firecracker exploding. Ah! And yet, a bullet was found at the scene of the crime. A bullet fired from Minister Inga's gun. How do you explain that? Well, we don't know whether it was fired during the course of the crime, right? Or do you have evidence that proves when the pistol was discharged? No, I have none. Wait a second. If that loud bang was a firecracker, then could that laugh at the end have been... No, it can't be. Oh, it can. And it is. The laugh came from none other than... the Joker who got a kick out of startling Albie with his dragon snot snaps. That happy-go-lucky That's Our Ball. I can't believe it. What? Someone should really put a leash on that guy. I shudder to think how one man could be the cause of so much trouble. Hey there, AJ, PW. Y'all can thank me later. No one asked for your commentary, Mr. Auerball. It's been a while, so I forgot some of these awful pun names. What's worse, Albie and Dats are recurring main characters. Like if, as I think of before, Inga's name was Evil Dictator or something. It gets really hard to do when they're main characters. Yeah, pretty much. You're right. Like they were really reaching with peace, love, and understanding. Like that was a little much for me. They were really testing how much I was willing to suspend my disbelief with that one, I think. No one asked for your commentary, Mr. Auerball. Your benevolence, do you need to revise your insight? It would appear so. Warbad is pretty good, I have to admit. I love that one. Well, this changes everything. Let's go over the details of Rafa's insight again. Okay. I think I've got this down now. Time to find another inconsistency. It's really good. Okay, what are we looking at now? See if we can go on from this one. Oh, explosion. They don't necessarily say gunshot. We're just assuming there was a gunshot. Explosion. But we know where the explosion came from. That final laugh belonged to none other than Dats himself. Hang on.
Objection!
I think this is right. Your benevolence, there's a glaring problem with this insight. There is. You stated that the murder happened at around 3 p.m., which is right around the time my client arrived on the scene. However, now that we know what the source of the loud bang is, your insight conflicts with a certain piece of evidence. I suppose I have to ask the obvious here. What evidence conflicts with the claim that the murder occurred at 3 p.m.? Once again, Albie absolutely comes in clutch for us. Albie, your guide's statement again? Yes, because to summarize what he said, at around 2 p.m., Shadow was surprised by a firecracker and ran to the palace courtyard. Around 2 p.m. That's right, 2 p.m. Not 3 p.m. Ah! Are you suggesting... Oh, I really like this sprite, actually. I think you know where I'm going with this. That's his laugh, the cry of the warbad, and the bang of the firecracker were all heard right before Minister Inga's death. Thanks to Albie's statement, we can put a definitive timestamp on all of these sounds. Therefore, What this vision shows is that it's extremely likely that the deceased's final moments were at 2 rather than 3 as we originally thought. Dare I ask? It means the murder took place a full hour before Dirk entered the tomb. It's a disguise. I was thinking that. There's no way. I was thinking there was a disguise. How can this be? Are you saying that I, the very personification of the law, have been mistaken? Oh my gosh, the nails! They were fake nails! That's really good. And now you see why justice will always prevail. Listen, the thing is the long nails are just not worth it. I mean, even this is the upper limit of what I can deal with. I'm a gamer. I have to be able to hold a controller. You know? Peace, I say, now that defense. I must remind you that the figure of the accused was clearly shown in the vision. How do you explain that? I wouldn't say it was clearly shown. After all, the figure didn't actually have a face. Aha, you are absolutely right. Without a face, we can't be certain of who it was. Furthermore, need I remind you if the vision is from 2 p.m.? Dirk was still with me and Mr. Wright, which means this faceless figure couldn't possibly be him. So then what are we to make of this 1 hour difference? Wait, 2 o'clock? That's when... My mother was performing the rite of channeling. Opening a can, that's a big one too. Yep. It's fun. It looks great. It's a sleigh. It's fun to do. But then you try to do anything practical at all and it completely falls apart. Yep, pretty much. The palace guards had all been reassigned to guard the channeling chamber for the rite. Don't tell me. The royal residence. It would have been virtually unguarded. Which means the real killer could have easily slipped unseen into Amara's tomb. Defense, are you saying that this is someone disguised as the accused? Getting your card out of the reader, yeah. I mostly use Apple Pay these days, but yeah. That's exactly what I believe, Your Majesty.
Objection.
Although I have to use the card reader when I visit the States, because my tap doesn't work. Preposterous. Disguises cannot deceive the memory of the dead. That the face did not appear this time is mere happenstance. I thought you weren't on this case anymore, Nayuta. Little bro thinks he's on the team? Yeah, it's really unfortunate. It's just so convenient. Had it appeared, such subterfuge would have been clear as day. Who invited my man, Blood? He thinks he's on the team. Anyone who knows about the divination seance would have tried to hide their face. Nevertheless, our killer openly appeared before Inga. The question is why? Apollo, maybe the killer could afford to be so bold because they knew their face wouldn't show up in the seance vision. What? It's possible that the killer dared to dress in Dirk's clothes and stand square in front of Inga, precisely because they knew they could get away with it. But how can anyone be so sure of something like that? A long time ago, I heard of a cognitive disorder that impairs a person's ability to distinguish between different faces. What if Inga had it? Then, are you saying that this is literally how Inga saw the world? Yes, we can't normally see through the eyes of others, but in this case we can. And if he had that disorder, isn't it? I thought they could see faces, they just can't like visualize faces. I could be wrong about that though. And if he had that disorder, I imagine this is how faces appeared to him in life. Okay, let's say that the killer knew that Inga had such a disorder. They could definitely use it to pin the crime on Dirk. But if you're wondering about how to prove that Inga had it, you already have what you need. Really? Well, Defense, do you have anything to show to this court? Yes, I believe so. Frankly, I have no idea what Mr. Wright means, but I'll look at the evidence over again. Yeah, I don't think their faces are blurry. I think that they just can't recall them. Or they can't tell them apart, you know? What explains why the face of Minister Inga's killer is absent in his seance vision? Give me a moment here. Wait, Inga's notepad. Nana, purple hat, glasses, oh, so he's making notes of people's appearances. So that he can remember them.
Take that!
That's what that was. A notepad. So, yes, it was found in Minister Inga's room, and it holds the answer we're looking for. As you can see, it's filled with detailed notes on various individuals. What kind of clothes they wear, hairstyles, and other discerning physical characteristics. And this is connected to the faceless nature of the killer, or how? The vision we saw was exactly what Minister Inga saw with his own eyes. It is he who saw his killer as a person without a face. In fact, this is how he normally saw everyone around him. What's this? I believe Minister Inga had a disorder that prevented him from recognizing faces. It would explain the faceless being, and why he needed a notepad full of people's physical characteristics. And plus, you could probably go by other, I mean, like, as the notes say, you could definitely go by other things, like their appearance or the sound of their voice, stuff like that. Now that I think about it, my father was always terrible at remembering people. By simply changing my hairstyle, he would fail to recognize even me. Your Eminence, you knew that your husband has such a disorder, didn't you? He never wished for it to become public knowledge. But I suppose there is no use in keeping quiet about it now. It is as you say. My late husband had a special disorder that hindered his ability to recognize faces. The medical term for it is prosopagnosia. So Mr. Wright was right. The memories of those afflicted with such disorders in life do appear strange at times. There is precedent for this. For more information, refer to the video game 9 Hours, 9 Persons, 9 Doors. So the killer likely knew about the disorder and used it to their advantage. Right, so there's someone who is both knowledgeable about the divination seance and aware of Inga's affliction. Your evidence? Who knew about your husband's condition? A small number of servants who tended to his needs. And me. Surely you are not about to insinuate that I committed this crime. Oh no, your eminence. Still, could she have done it? Garan has an alibi, remember? Oh, right. She was conducting the rite of channeling at 2 p.m. When you got a rite of channeling at 2 p.m. and a murder at 3 p.m. In that case, your eminence, does Nana know about the Minister Inga's disorder? Of course she does. She is our head servant. So as head servant, she knew about Minister Inga's condition. And as the princess's personal attendant, she is familiar with the divination seance. If these two facts together don't make her a possible suspect, I don't know what would.
Objection!
You witless lawyer, how quick you are to forget the facts. Facts like when Inga was last seen alive. You claim he was slain at 2, yet that is impossible. For Rafa saw him at 2:30. We did completely forget about that. No, there must be some mistake. So you see, the murder could only have happened at 3 p.m. The hour Dirk entered the tomb. There's no other answer to this puzzle. Why don't we ever get to make up answers like Garan makes up laws? Guess it's back to square one. Where did we go wrong? Huh, I don't think we're the problem. We just seem to be short one piece of the puzzle. Our deductions so far explain everything to a T. Everything except for Inga's sighting at 2:30. I see. And without that final puzzle piece, all of our deductions fall apart. Apollo, if Inga's sighting is the only anomaly, we'll just have to find a way to make it fit into the bigger picture. Time to think outside the box then, right? Let's see. It would be impossible to see Inga walking around after he had been killed. But what if there was a way to make people think he was alive, even though he was dead? Like a way to make people witness the living dead? Sounds like some kind of a TV show. Things like that don't happen in real life. Apollo, did you just... I did. I figured it out. I know how to make people witness the living dead. Your Majesty, our deductions weren't wrong after all. Despite Minister Inga being murdered at 2 p.m., he was seen heading into the tomb at 2:30, and I'll tell you how. I certainly hope you will, because I have no idea what you're talking about. The Minister Inga her benevolence saw was, in fact, someone channeling him. Maya? Couldn't be Maya. No. It was the deceased being channeled. It's the only way a man who is already dead could have been seen by her benevolence. Channeled, you say? That's right. And there are only 2 people capable of spirit channeling here in Khura'in. Her Eminence Queen Garan and Maya Fey. It's possible that one of them was channeling the minister. That's true, though. Garan could also do it. It's crazy. That's crazy. It's actually crazy. Like, on a power scaling level, like, basically Maya is next in line to run Khura'in. From a power scaling standpoint, you know? It would seem that you are ever bent on making me a party to this crime. Prosecutor, what was I doing at 2:30 p.m., the time at which my husband was seen? Eminence. I believe you had completed the channeling, right? And were having tea with the king of the neighboring realm. There would have been many attendants there, too. Nayuta has to keep up with her schedule, too. What doesn't she make up do? Then that leaves only Maya. Yeah, it does. Maybe someone was forcing her to use her power towards nefarious ends. The real killer could have been threatening her. That's right, she was keeping her powers under wraps. Probably because she thought people would target her if they knew. But now that's kind of all out the window. That cannot be. So then, Inga's scream. That was probably from when he woke up from being called back to this world. After all, that's when the flow of time would have picked back up for him after he died. So Minister Inga probably leapt to his feet thinking he just had a nightmare. Then, realizing it was almost time for the hostage exchange, he raced off to Amara's tomb, not even realizing he was already dead. Then, her benevolence really did see a dead man running. Bro. Using the sacred power of spirit channeling to commit a crime? How can this be? The defense calls Miss Maya Fey to the stand. Well, Your Eminence, will you allow a new witness? It matters not. Either way, this lawyer shall soon know the truth. He will know just how much of an imbecile he is in the face of my infallible arguments. Salt me all you want, witch, but you'll be eating those words when I expose the truth. I'll make you read those words. Faker! I think you're the fake lawyer around here. Very well, let us adjourn until the next witness is ready. Boom. Oh, that's to be continued. Okay, cool. Nice. That was a nice little package. That was a nice little package with a bow on it. Nice. Cool. Nice. We are really close. I think it's only going to be one more stream of this. We are really close. Whew. With a beautiful little room. Exactly. Well, we are really in the home stretch. Like, it's literally like, this is it. Like, the next one is the last part, I think. Or maybe not. I don't know. Day 2 divination seance. I guess there's actually 2 parts left, so it might be 2 more streams. But it depends on how much longer. There's like 2 parts remaining, so it depends on how long they are. They could be entire things on their own, right? Yeah. Yep. Yes, indeed. Yes, indeedy. All right. Well, I am AAI 2. Yeah, actually, that was pretty much my motivation for picking this back up. I was so close to finishing this, and yeah, I really want to play Investigations too. I am definitely planning on playing that. It's so cool that we have an official localization of it now, so I definitely want to play that. But I wanted to finish this first. We're so close. I am going to be back playing Skyward Sword tomorrow. And next week is going to be a little skimpy because I am going to be taking a vacation for most of the week. Well, it's only like 4 days. It's like next Thursday to next Sunday. Thursday to Sunday, the 26th through the 29th. So I will be gone those days, but I think I'll be able to fit like 1 or 2 streams in. At least 1, maybe 2 if I can get that. And then I'll be right back the following Monday. Sky Sword, woohoo! Oh, I want to get back to Sky Sword. I'm excited to get back to Sky Sword. I'm very excited. Oh, and I don't know if anybody if you didn't hear about it, Daisy and I are going to start Borderlands 2 the next time we collab because I think we've reached the limit of what we can experience with Borderlands 1. It was a fun time, but man, that game is just really scuffed. I don't really feel that motivated to finish the roughly 20% of the main story that we have left. We were pretty close to the end, and the game is just actively breaking down at that point. So maybe we're just going to play 2, and then we should be able to progress through the series at a much better clip. It's kind of insanely broken. Like, it actually gets worse at a certain point. I don't know what they were thinking, but late game, they completely fumbled. I don't know if the original was like that, but the Game of the Year edition is totally like that. It's so weird. But yeah, we're going to play 2, and the story is actually going to pick up, and it's going to be interesting, and we're going to be able to actually enjoy things, and there's not going to be much missed context. It's nothing you really have to worry about. There's nothing too much you have to worry about. Who play tested this? The thing is, I think probably it was play tested, and then the people who were responsible for implementing the playtest feedback were like, no, it's playable, ship it. I know enough about playtesting to know that tends to be the case. They just don't simply listen. They just simply don't listen. They decide whether the game ships or not. They just are like, yep. And actually, I think probably a lot of QA, I mean, the game industry just has wide layoffs. The game industry just has wide layoffs, so. But I don't know, maybe that game just really didn't have playtesting. It was kind of a new type of game, so maybe it was just like, how did they even make this game? You know? It's pretty, yeah, the game industry is in shambles, but that's a whole other conversation. But yeah, pretty much. I think 2 will be a much better experience, and the Handsome Collection version is going to be a new experience for me. I originally played it on PC, the OG version. I might still have my file on the cloud. I should probably check into that. Anyway, I am going to go rest my voice, and I'm going to rest the rest of my body too. I'm gonna rest the rest of my body. But I will see you tomorrow, and I hope you have a wonderful weekend if I don't see ya. It's Friday. You got through another week, sailor. Yeah, me too. It's going to be really fun. All right. I'm out of here, folks. Thank you for hanging out. I will see you tomorrow. Bye. Good night.